Okay, 26 minutes past 5. In the modern world, well, being on the internet is important, isn't it? You know, everyone's online, really. However, this new information out today, a survey says that a lack of understanding keeps half of all over 65s offline. So the internet's kind of a bit confusing, maybe. 38% also believe it's not relevant or useful. Dave Thackeray is a technology and social media expert from Southport, joins us now. Hello, Dave.
Simon, it's great to speak to you, and it worries me so many people are still suffering and struggling their way through this technological world of ours. But I have to say, Simon, you and I both know that actually that's quite a relatively small survey sample, and a lot of old people are actually catching up with the curve. Seniors are doing a really good job, and I think mostly that's down to these big companies like Apple. Loath though I am for saying good things about that company, I think the iPad has done more for this revolution in the way that we can use technology than any other device. So, yes, I hate to say it, but I think things are really genuinely moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I was surprised myself because I thought many people over 65 were quite internet savvy. The people I meet who are over 65, my relatives are pretty much, they can go online and they know what they're doing.
I think the problem is as well is that the world that we live in these days is really quite complex. And as far as technology goes, we're still in a real juvenile period. Compared to TV and radio, we're still trying to find our feet. And I think if we can kind of overcome that initial fear, as Apple is trying to do with its many different devices, I think we'll be okay. But I don't know if you've noticed, but the Radio Times, that venerable magazine that still keeps pumping out editions, is still flogging electronic typewriters. So, in this world where we're making such great advances, we're still all craving that fundamental simplicity. And I think that sometimes means throwbacks to a time when we weren't in the grasp of this technological revolution of ours,
What is it that Apple are doing at the moment that you think's making things much more simple and easy to use, Dave?
Well, there's the irony, because obviously the interface that Apple are using on their iPhones and iPads is super simple. These great big icons that take you through to very well thought out and very well executed applications.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that applications are the way forward because all you need to do is click a few buttons and the chances are that will have solved your problem or scratched your itch. But I think Apple are just thinking very, very differently. And I have to say, the great upstart Google as well is doing such a phenomenal job with that brand new product of theirs, Google Glass, that I think this could potentially be a real game changer for the senior generation, because all you need to do is look through these fabulous eyepieces. You get the internet projected into your eyes. You get the sound given through bone conduction. And I think this could really be a huge sleeper hit.
God.
We've just got to wait and see when it eventually makes to our shores. But right now in America, it's causing quite a stir because of its simplicity. All you need to do is look at it.
Yeah, I mean, everything that you saw on Star Trek is kind of happening now, isn't it? Apart from the old transporter beam. We'll have to wait for that one, I suppose. But I think you're right, actually, Dave. That the tablets, do you think they'll replace computers in the end? Because they are so much easier to use, aren't they? The idea of, logging onto a PC, well, perhaps that won't be around much longer.
There's some great progress being made right now in terms of different interfaces. So instead of having to tap at a keyboard, there's a great gesture-based interface that's being developed right now, and that should be coming up very shortly, and that works really nicely with tablets. PC sales are plummeting quicker than rain in April, and this is great news because actually we're moving towards a place where everything is just a lot more simple, and we can still do the same jobs, but with less movement, and the process is nailed down for us. I've always been very hostile about Apple because of their walled garden approach, but I'm starting to see the light now and realise that if technology is really going to hit home in the mainstream, we actually need to be dumbing things down, and we need to be taking control and not giving users the control. So I think that's probably why tablets, because by their very definition they're simple, are going to win the day. But I think there's a long way to go yet, Simon, until those clamshells of yore start saying their final goodbyes to our desks.
Okay, Dave, we've still not got robot butlers yet, have we, as we were promised in Tomorrow's World, but that will probably happen via Apple, in fact. Cheers, Dave, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Simon.
Dave Thackeray there, technology and social media expert from Southport.
Your station, your voice.
BBC Radio Merseyside.